In today's video, I'm going to show you how to isolate a subject from a white background and how to remove the tiny little white fringes that we are left with once we've removed the background. What's up y'all, my name is Rens, I'm a surreal digital artist from the Netherlands helping you create amazing photo manipulations in Affinity Photo. And in today's video, I want to show you how to remove the white background of an image. Now, if you want to learn more about selecting and masking in Affinity Photo, I highly recommend you to check out my free mini course called The Secrets to Pixel Perfect Selections. And in this mini course, you will learn 8 powerful techniques that you can use to isolate subjects from their background. You can find the link right here in the screen, or you can find the link down below in the description. Alright, that being said, let's jump right into Affinity Photo and let me show you how this is done. Alright, so in today's video I want to show you how to remove this white background, and to do it perfectly it requires a couple of steps. So let's start with step number 1, and that's by actually selecting the background. So how to do this: make sure the right layer is selected. Let's first name the shoe. Make sure the right layer is selected, and the easiest way to select a background with a solid color is by using the flood select tool. So let's go over here to the tools panel and click this flood select tool. You can also select it by pressing W on the keyboard. To select the background with the right layer selected, all we have to do is click and hold and drag our cursor into any direction. And as you can see in the context toolbar, once we drag further away from our clicking point, you can see the tolerance increase, and you can also see that Affinity Photo increases our selection. So let's move this quite a lot to the right, and let's say I think 10% is about fine. So if I would zoom in, you can see that we have a nice selection of our shoe already. Over here I forgot a little part, so how to add this to our selection. On a Mac you can hold Ctrl and click and drag to any direction to add this to the selection. Alright, so now we have actually selected the background, and this is something we don't want. We want to select our shoe, so we want to mask out the background. So we have to invert our layer mask first. Let's press Command Shift I. Now I've inverted my layer mask, and once I hit the mask icon right now, you can see that I've masked out the shoe. However, we are not done yet, because when I actually zoom in, and let me deselect for now by pressing Command D, when I zoom in, you can see that we are left with this really weird white line around our subjects, which just looked awful. It looks terrible. So how to fix this? This is where the next step comes in, and that's by refining the mask. So how to refine the mask? Right click on the layer mask and hit Refine Mask. So Affinity Photo will try to refine our mask right now, and it will by default go to this red overlay. However, in this red overlay our selection looks pretty nice. We got rid of the white line, but if I change my preview to black and white, you can see that a whole lot of the lace is not selected yet. Because remember, when masking, black is hiding and white is showing. So everything that's black in the shoelace is actually not selected, and right over here as well. So how to fix this? Over here in the Refine Selection dialog box, you see the slider border width. And by default it is set to 10%, but once I click and hold this, you can now see the border width is quite wide. But if I would move it to the left, so I decrease the size, I move it all the way to 0%, and I release my cursor, you can see that it got a lot less already. So we can of course clean this up, and I will show you how to do this right now. For now we are fine with the Refine Selection dialog box, so let's apply our adjustments. Once I've applied, I go back to my normal views, so I cannot actually see what we have selected and what not. So I want to change the view, and I want to actually isolate my mask. So how to go into the mask again? Hold Option on a Mac or Alt on Windows and click on the mask. So now we return to our mask in a black and white view, and from here we can select the brush tool by pressing B on the keyboard, and now we can brush in with white to actually clean up our selection. I'm not gonna completely do it in this tutorial because it is quite time consuming, but if I would do this for a client, I would definitely spend a lot of time making this a perfect selection. So let's say I'm done with making my perfect selection. Let's fix it up a little bit more right over here, and let's assume I'm done right now. So how to get back to normal view? Simply click another layer. So I click my shoe layer and we are back in the normal view. Over here you can see that I've selected a little bit too much. So let me go back to the mask, press X to go to black and brush over the part that I want to deselect. But as you can see, we are still left with this tiny gray edge around our subject, and this is something I don't like. So before continuing, make sure you've actually perfectly selected your mask, or you've perfectly made your mask, because afterwards we cannot fix this anymore. So make sure you've got all of these fixed. Let's go back to normal view, and the next step is to rasterize our layer, or to apply our layer mask. So how to do this? We can right click our shoe layer and click rasterize. So now our shoe is in a pixel layer, and now we can easily get rid of the last tiny fringe that we are left with. So how to do this? Let me be zoomed in like this so you can actually see what's happening. Make sure to select the right layer, go up to filters, go to colors and select remove white matte. So once I select this, you can see that Affinity Photo will remove the last white matte. If it's not enough yet, as you can see, some parts of our shoe still have some fringe. We can go back up here, go to filters, and as you can see right over here, we can repeat our last filter, which is to remove the white matte by pressing Command F. So if I would press Command F once again, you can see that we got rid of the last fringes. Don't do this too often, because if I would do this even more, you can see that the edge gets uglier or sharper, which I don't like. So let me undo this a couple of times and let's stick to this, or maybe this one. Alright, so that was one awesome technique how to isolate the subject from a white background. Now, as mentioned before, if you haven't checked it out yet, make sure to check out my free mini course called The Secrets to Pixel Perfect Selections. I'll put the link once again in the screen, or you can check out the link below in the description. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you enjoy my content overall, feel very free to subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world to me. Alright, that being said, I put a video right here so you can check out more photo manipulation stuff, and I'll put a playlist right here if you want to learn more Affinity Photo skills. Alright, see you in my next video.